Wednesday, November 22nd. You can feel the gobble gobble in the atmosphere. Thanksgiving Eve. I remember back in the days, there was probably no better party night when you were like coming home for that first college break. It's one of the biggest nights in the bar industry. It's one of the biggest nights in the pizza delivery and Chinese food delivery business. Nobody wants to be cooking the night before Thanksgiving. So this is always a fun time of year. It really is. I love Thanksgiving. I love the best meal of the year, a day full of football, no dogma, no presents attached to anything. Just get together with friends, family, watch football, eat a great meal. This is a phenomenal holiday. I don't know why we haven't invented a few more of these along the way. We really should. Thanksgiving 2, Electric Boogaloo. We should absolutely have a Thanksgiving 2, Thanksgiving the sequel at some point in time. Either way, welcome to Humo Day, as it is known amongst the Plusers. It's amazing what one typo will do to this crowd. Thank you very much for joining, as always. And let's just hop right into the fact that what we still have between the 49ers and the Seahawks is the best rivalry in the NFC West. It really is. You know, it was supposed to be the Rams. When the Rams came back to Los Angeles, it was supposed to really ignite that Northern California, Southern California dislike that is, you know, pretty much prevalent throughout the state. Giants, Dodgers, Warriors, Lakers. You know, it's beautiful. It's set up. I love geographic rivalry. I always have. I always will. But the chief rivalry of the 49ers, it remains the Seahawks. And this is funny because, you know, especially after you got the Rams beating the 49ers in the NFC title game, you'd think that that would really ignite it. But there's so much regular season ownage for Kyle over Sean McVay that, you know, the hammer and the nail are rarely rivals. There's one doing more work there than the other. So it's still, in my mind, the Seattle Seahawks, and I think in a lot of Niners fans, it is still very much the best rivalry that the 49ers have in the NFC, not named the Dallas Cowboys, which we always knows, you know, pushes that pushes all the chips right into the middle of the hatred of who you're playing table whenever it's the Dallas Cowboys. But look, the rivers run deep in this rivalry. Sure, you got Shanahan, you got some recent ownage over Pete Carroll, you got 2 regular season wins and a wild card game win over the Seahawks. 4 of the last 5 have gone to the 49ers, but these rivers really do run deep. And, you know, Harbaugh, Pete Carroll has given away to Shanahan versus Pete Carroll, Crabtree versus Uncle Sherm. Sorry receiver rants scaring the hell out of Aaron Andrews. Got Cam Chancellor and Vernon Davis. You got Seattle's offensive line against Navarro Bowman's knee. A lot of these kind of never forget, never get clear of moments. And then, of course, there is Turkey on the 50. The worst way ever to essentially christen Levi's Stadium is what happened when you had Richard Sherman and Russell Wilson and Michelle Tafoya sitting on the 50-yard line eating turkey legs at Levi's Stadium. How the 49ers agreed to that, how they let that happen still to this day, it baffles me. I need an expose. I think I need a documentary on that at some point. I might just be the right guy to host it, by the way. Anyway, it's a hell of a rivalry, and here we go on Thanksgiving for the first time since birth of Turkey on the 50. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into what this rivalry means, but one other thing to let you know, and by the way, cheers and welcome to all of you. I'm going to be completely honest. I was up a little early this morning, and the sip of the day has already technically passed. This is a simulation of the sip of the day. We're already at least 10 degrees under temp in this cup for it being ideal. But again, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to sip of the day. But there it is. There it is. Brock Purdy just named the NFL or the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was named this morning after finishing with a perfect passer rating against the Buccaneers. And I'm glad that Brock Purdy is starting to see a level of attention paid to his career that is more than just curiosity. Like, people are starting to acknowledge there's something happening over here with this guy. There is something that is out of the ordinary. And it's totally out of the ordinary. There's never been a Mr. Irrelevant that has become in any way, shape, or form really relevant to the league in any way beyond a starting quarterback who is producing numbers that are remarkable. A quick season update for you. Let's update where Brock is in the standings in some of these all-important passing categories. Brock Purdy today is first in the NFL in completion percentage, in passer rating, in yards per completion, in yards per attempt, and in touchdowns per attempt. Like, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty hard to shake a stick at. I know some people are in the shaking the stick at everything business out there. Business is no longer booming in that department for anyone who really wants to insist that Brock Purdy is an illusion here. There is a consistency to the games that this guy's playing early on in his career that suggests this is not an illusion. An illusion would pop up one week and then just kind of vanish into the ether the next. There is a steady stream of consistent football being played in this young career that is remarkable. It really, really is remarkable. His team is in first place, and his numbers, as we sort of talked about yesterday, his numbers are comparable to Aaron Rodgers in one of his MVP seasons, to Boomer Esiason's and Boomer's MVP season, and Dan Marino's MVP season. And look, I don't know if Brock Purdy is the MVP of his own team, if we're being completely honest about this. Like, that's how much respect I've got for Christian McCaffrey and what he does as the Swiss Army knife that has opened up this offense to the point where Brock is now putting up numbers like this. You know, by the way, Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey are the same coin. Like, you can flip it right now, and whether it lands heads or tails, you've got an MVP argument to be made on either side of that. But it's way too early in the year to have an MVP conversation. It's not even Christmas yet. We haven't even cut the pumpkin pie after Thanksgiving dinner. So anyone who wants to have an MVP discussion right now, as far as I'm concerned, has disqualified themselves from any real MVP discussion. So I see you. I see you're looking at me and you're saying, Damon, why are you wearing headphones? You normally don't wear headphones. Well, the reason why I'm wearing headphones is because we've got a little guest today that I have never had on the show before. I've appeared on his show a couple of times, and very early on here in my pivot to YouTube, CG Ruthless was one of those guys who reached out nice and early as a Niner fan saying, man, I like what you do. Come on my channel. I've done it a few times. And since this is all about what we're thankful for, CG, I'm thankful that you had me on. You're a part of this channel's growth, and it's about damn time we said hello, and I got to introduce you to everyone watching the Damon Bruce Show over here. How you doing, man?
Oh, thank you, Damon. It is a pleasure and an honor, and salute to your fans, man. You've been growing, man. I've been admiring you for years, man, and it's just an honor to be on your show, too.
Well, thank you. I'll tell you what I'm admiring. Those sunglasses. Tell us about the sunglasses. Are those the official Colorado football? Isn't what we sort of promised it to be, but we're still pretending it's working?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Dion kind of let me down, but I still got them shades to go golden, man.
I like it. So we got ourselves a really big football game, and you know it's easy to look past Seattle for maybe the first time ever because we see who's next. We see who is next and who is next.
They give us the most problems.
Without a doubt. We know what's coming up next. But I'm going to worry about Philadelphia next week. This is the week where I think you got to worry about the Seahawks a lot, because if this were on a normal schedule, if this were normal rest, if it were not a Thursday game, I would love the Niners going up to Seattle on a short week at Lumen Field at night. Weird things always happen in this rivalry, and I think that's what makes it so interesting. How do you feel about the Niners going up to Seattle tomorrow night? What do you expect, and what are you worried about?
I expect at least to be a pretty decent game. I mean, we can't sleep on Seattle. Like, even with Geno not being at his best, he's going to still play. So it doesn't matter what Seattle team we're going to play. They're going to still play their best game. And it's in Seattle. It's one of the most toughest environment. What concerns me the most is what's going on with our offensive linemen. It's like we're having some issues, but then again, you just made a good point about Brock Purdy. He's been playing well with this type of offensive line. What's more concerning is the secondary. How are we going to cover DK Metcalf and those rest of those wide receivers unless we can get the Geno?
I'm excited to see what Jair Brown looks like. I wish that there were a normal week of prep to kind of get him into the starting lineup, but, injuries happen and it's a next man up league and he's the next man up. And, this is something I've been talking about with Kruger. There is a chance that there might be a better athlete. I'm not saying he's going to be a better safety, a better football player than Talanoa Hufanga, but bigger, faster, stronger, could be playing into Jair Brown's makeup. And I just think he's a football player. I watched an awful lot of Penn State. This guy's got good hands. He can tackle. I don't think there's going to be much of a fall off. And that's with all due respect to Talanoa Hufanga, who set the bar pretty high for safety play.
Yeah, I mean, what you saw from Jair Brown in college was he has a knack for the ball. It's like it's been natural to him. Coverage-wise, I like what I've seen from him in coverage. Even with the one coverage he messed up on, the rest of the way, he's been straight on point. So it's like you said, we should be good with Jair Brown. I feel like with Jair Brown, you're getting somebody who can actually – I might have a bold take. I think he might even lead the rookies in interceptions when it's all said and done because they're going to test his direction.
They are. They're going to come after him. And that's, look, smart offensive coordinators and smart quarterbacks test untested waters. That's what you do. There is so much of this league just concentrates on the stars, and really so much of the game is my third best player on this field better than your third or fourth best player on this field? And there's so much of that is going to go into the soup of this game. I also, for the first time this year, I even talked about this yesterday. When you talk football with an audience for 18 years in a row, there are people who are like, hey, didn't you bring that up last year around this time? And yeah, I probably did. I'm bringing it up again. Special teams red alert all afternoon long. Watch Seattle try to steal a possession, either with a fake field goal or a fake punt. I just feel like Pete Carroll on a short week has got some bullshit waiting for the 49ers.
He sleeps a little bit.
Yeah. So special teams red alert, feeling it?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a little trickery. You know how that one play where Travis Homer got the touchdown off of that fake punt play? It's going to be something like that maybe.
Be on red alert. Be on red alert.
Red alert. Watch out for that fake punt because that's where the running back, it could be that running back. I think Charbonnet might get it. Or I'm hearing that they got this rookie, McIntosh, that's going to be activated for this game.
Well, look, it's going to be a little bit of element of surprise, a little bit of unexpected because it is a short prep week, and we know that it's harder on a short prep week. You sort of condense the playbook in a short prep week. 49ers, I think they're the better team, but Seattle is just good enough at home to have me a little worried about this game. I am. Division rivalries breed contempt. They know each other. I don't think anyone's going to be able to surprise each other. So just going out and playing bully power football should go into the Niners' favor. It really should. But this is what Seattle does. They can sit there and trade punches with anyone, and then it's a question of how many mistakes do they make. I saw this today. CG, the Seahawks are the most penalized team in football. I didn't even really realize this until I saw Akash Anavaranthian, another content creator that I've had on the show too, who's really good at what he does. Seattle's got a lot of middling numbers. They're like 18th in total yardage, 13th in passing, 25th in rushing. They're very average, but they're consistently inconsistent with the flags. 25 flags in just their last 3 games alone. Pete Carroll's team leads the NFL in penalties this season. So if the Niners play clean, I think they get out alive.
We should be able to take care of it. It's just, like you said, like the penalties may be the factor for us to win this in a way. the way how Seattle plays, man, they play too physical sometimes, and that's part of what kills them with penalties, especially with certain players. Like I think majority of their penalties come with their defenders mostly, because those guys, I can see why you're saying they have the most penalties the last 3 games, because they're undisciplined. The way we play ball is we run it towards their throats. The weakest part of their game is the run defense. They are ranked 21st against the run. If you run outside with Christian McCaffrey, you should get those big chunk of yards out of them.
You know why there's an awful lot of, I think, penalties on Seattle, too, is because Pete Carroll's up there trying to play Legion of Boom level football without the talent that it really takes to play that level of football. Legion of Boom basically had a game plan, and their game plan was, we are going to be physical every single play. We doubt you throw a flag on every single play. We dare you to overly zealous officiate this game. And because of certain players' reputations, they got away with it. Maybe lesser reputations let Seattle get away with it a little bit less, and all these flags that they're picking up. Tell people who are seeing you for the first time where to follow you, about your channel, where they can come and get cool sunglasses, 49er content.
Oh, dude, definitely. CG Ruthless. I just do shows on a daily. Mostly I go on TikTok, so that's where most of my content's at, man. I got like 5,000 followers down there. YouTube,
I'm still not on TikTok. I haven't done it. I can't. There's something about, and I'm not worried about Chinese spying or anything like that. There's just like, tell me you don't do like TikTok dances, and you're not doing like head, shoulders, knees, and toes on TikTok.
Oh no, I just do Niners content, or I just use a green screen. I do updates. Most of my videos just go up the roof a little bit, but yeah, on YouTube it's just CG Ruthless. If you guys want to see my most impressive interview, check out my Spencer Burford interview. That's like the one that was like a month before the draft. If you guys are not too familiar with my channel, man, I have separate content. One is for the wrestling content where I interview pro wrestlers, and then the one with Niners content, I keep it separate.
All right. So I used to watch an awful lot of wrestling earlier in my life. I'm going back to like Ricky the Steamboat Dragon, British Bulldogs, Coco Beware, early WWF.
Macho Man.
Yes. Best wrestler working the circuit today is
who? The best one currently?
Yes. Who is currently the best wrestler in the wrestling universe?
Everybody keeps saying Roman Reigns, but I don't see it. I gotta say, if he's outside of WWE, I gotta say MJF, man. The guy has the best mic. Even on AEW, this man is a mic talker. He knows how to, like, this dude knows how to sell tickets. Like, I don't know. I just want to watch him. I want to watch this guy.
I don't even. So I'm so out of it. Who is it? What's his name?
MJF is a wrestler from AEW. He's like one of their top stars, bro. Like if you don't like, I mean, WWE, they got some top talents too, but I like MJF more than Roman Reigns. At least he'll compete consistently.
So is there a legitimate actual competing against the WWE league going on right? There's the AWF, is that what it's called? Is
AEW? They don't really compete. Like, they're not like competition wise, but they do got some guys out there that got some young promising talent. But I just think MJF is like the best of the bunch. Like, when I watch wrestling, I want to see this guy wrestle.
There you go.
Roman Reigns, I don't know. Like, I like the other guys, but Roman Reigns I'm getting bored out of him a little bit.
Niner content, wrestling content, great sunglasses, and if you don't mind me saying, a really nice guy. You reached out to help me early on. Thank you so much, my friend. Have a happy Thanksgiving to you, your whole family. Hope you have a great one.
Oh, yeah, you too, dude. It's been an honor, and dude, this was a good timing. I was like very thankful you reached out for this show, man. This is just fun, dude.
Well, it's great having you on. There he is, CG Ruthless. Follow him on YouTube. Follow him on TikTok. Follow him on Twitter. CG Ruthless 1 on Twitter. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
There you go. And we won't call it X because we ain't playing that with Elon. Thank you, man. Take care of yourself.
All right, man.
CG Ruthless, again, nice guy, young guy, understanding he's helping me understand what the hell's going on here on YouTube early on. So I appreciate him very, very much. And this is all about, what are you thankful for? I'm thankful. How are you? Are you good? You feeling thankful? So here's the plan tomorrow, okay? We're going to have a sort of abridged Damon Bruce show at 11 a.m. We're going to come together. We're going to kind of cheers and say what we're thankful for. And tomorrow, if you're interested, I will share a way to call in, and we will have our Thanksgiving Day draft on Thanksgiving of side dishes. We're going to do that tomorrow. I was told that I can use the same link that I just sent CG Ruthless. I can put that in the chat, okay? I can put that in the chat, and you can copy that link, and you can come on in, and we will, in the order in which you arrive, which is the most democratic way to do it, have ourselves a Thanksgiving draft at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to it. We're also using this as a chance to test the capacity of how I actually work this and take calls. And maybe this is the big, bold, bright new future of taking calls here on the show. Video calls. I think I got it figured out. I think Larry showed me. I think Larry showed me how to do it. So that's where we're going. Brave new territory tomorrow. And just a chance to say thanks to so many of you who have been so incredibly supportive of what we're doing over here. It means an awful lot. Speaking of support, the support that we get from our sponsors is second to none, starting with my man Ike, who, like I said, nobody wants to do any cooking today. Nobody wants to be in the kitchen today, but everybody has to have lunch today. Everybody needs to have lunch. Why don't you go ahead and order yourself a sandwich from Ike's and do it on the Ike's Rewards app. Start earning your way towards free sandwiches. There is a Thanksgiving sandwich with turkey and stuffing and cranberries that is fantastic, but Thanksgiving's tomorrow. You probably don't need that sandwich today, a Thanksgiving preview, or maybe you just want to bury yourself in any and all Thanksgiving flavors, and so go for it. I think I'm getting a Jamie Sirewich. I talked about it yesterday, didn't order one yesterday. I've already talked to Jillian about how this afternoon's going to play out, and I do think we're ordering Ike's. So there you go. We don't want to cook either. We don't want to cook either the day before Thanksgiving. Thank you to Ike. I am so thankful that that guy is not just a sponsor, but a true friend. Thank you to mybookie.com. I mean, you got 3 games to play tomorrow. Maybe you want to put a little extra jingle jangle in your Thanksgiving hopper. You got a 9:30 kickoff, Packers and Lions in Detroit. That's West Coast time, followed by a 1:30 Commanders and Cowboys game, which will probably drift into the realm of unwatchable, so you might want to have a little something rolling on that just to make it interesting. And then 49ers and Seahawks, without a doubt, the best game, I think, being served up on Thanksgiving. 5:20 p.m. kickoff here on the West Coast, 8:20 East Coast kickoff time, and looking forward to that game. And then, of course, at the 2-minute warning, this is where we go big tomorrow night. Join me for a Thanksgiving pumpkin pie evening spectacular as we do postgame, the most aggressive postgame in America. We don't even wait for the game to end. It happens at the 2-minute warning. MyBookie.ag. Use promo code Damon for a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. JaxSF.com is a place. This isn't a Jax t-shirt today, but today's a day of giving thanks, and I'm thankful to Jax for having the coolest vintage shirts that you're going to find. I know that people are going to start thinking as soon as Thanksgiving is over about, like, it's the holiday season, got to get some shopping done. You can get all of your shopping done for all your Bay Area sports fans at JaxSF.com. Use promo code DamonBruce10 when you check out for 10% off. And since we got love for all of our friends today, our friends at Uncle Boys, again, don't want any lunch, don't want to make anything, don't want to see the kitchen until tomorrow, get yourself a burger at Uncle Boys, get yourself the lumpia, get yourself the onion rings, and you're going to get yourself a great meal if you indeed do that. Thanks to all of my sponsors, thanks to all of you. Your guys you're seriously awesome. Oh, look, you even had it coming, right? You were on to me, Big Mac. Wonder if there's a guest today. Uncle Damon has the headphones on. Well, you saw the guest. I'm CG Ruthless. And thank you very much to Rick Mighty Bone Feliciano. Damon, nearly at 9,500 subs here before Thanksgiving. Again, we wanted to get to 10. It was a bold, bold, bold way to set a big goal. Where are we now? 9,481. 19 more subscribers to 9,500. Let's see if that can happen today. That would make me happy. I'd be thankful for that. 19 of you watching right now who are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and the algorithm will make everyone happy, especially my channel. So thank you very, very much. We got Seattle in 24 hours, baby. Here we go. A big game. Now, we all know that Philadelphia is waiting. We all see it. We all know it. Let's try not to talk about it because it's putting the cart before the horse. And honestly, if you had to just flip the coin and say, who do you need to beat? You can win one of your next two games. You want to beat Seattle. You want to beat Seattle. That's a division rival. Of course, Philadelphia will earn all the talking points and a starring position on the Monday morning shows that follow. Seattle's really important. I don't have to explain that to any of you. I think you all understand this implicitly, which is why we get along. Seattle, again, they will snap their own chicken wing. If you wait long enough for them to do it, they are the most penalized team in the NFL. Not the Raiders. How often do you get to say that? It's not the Raiders. Congratulations to the Las Vegas Raiders. It's not the Raiders. But consistently inconsistent is a good way to sum up to what's holding Seattle back from a team that, again, sort of surprised everybody with a playoff appearance, very much surprised everybody with the year that they got out of Geno. Geno's elbows barking at him a little bit in this game. This is set up to be a Niner win. But all sorts of weird things happen when it's 49ers and Seahawks. We know that. We've seen it. Red alert on DJ Metcalf. Red alert on Tyler Lockett. Red alert on Kenneth Walker III. And red alert on special teams. Look for some tomfoolery there. If those four things are taken care of, I don't think Seattle can win this game. But weird things happen. Weird things happen. I had this on yesterday's show. I want to go ahead and put it back into this one because I just thought it was interesting. Talking about points and point differential and points mattering. You know, you are what your record is. That's who you are. Your point differential isn't who you are in football, but it does speak to how much you go out and overwhelm teams at times. The Eagles have an overwhelming record. I don't know how many games in which they have overwhelmed their opponent as much as they just get all credit in the world for outlasting, winning grimy game after grimy game. You know, the Eagles are constantly taking the test that a lot of people still want to see the 49ers put into and succeed in. How good are you when things are grimy? And the grimy games have been the losses for the 49ers. Their wins have pretty much been overwhelming football thoughts. The Eagles are 9-1 with a plus 61 point differential. The Lions are 8-2 with a plus 43 point differential. The 49ers are 7-3 with a point differential of plus 122. That is twice the point differential of the Philadelphia Eagles. That means that when the 49ers are rolling, they pull out brass knuckles. Now, the Eagles always play with brass knuckles. That's a very physical team. But the beatdown has not been as complete and as thorough as the way the Niners have turned around and just straight up backyard bullied some teams in this league. And Sam Bruno Mike. CG Ruthless. Welcome to the initiated. And he did have the stunner shades on. And no, indeed, those ain't Zenny. Look at this. A lot of love for CG Ruthless. Good to have you on the show. UC Steve says, who's CG? I'm about to start my own podcast to be a guest in Damon's house. Hey, call in tomorrow. We're going to have a Thanksgiving Day draft right at 11. Get in, UC Steve. Get in early. And maybe mashed potatoes will still be on the board for you. Who knows? Thank you so very, very much to Giant Niner fan. 10 bones goes into the jar. 9,500 subs. We're on our way. It'll get there eventually. We just picked up another one. Well, hey, now we're 18 short of 9,500. I love it. I love it. Hit that like button. Thank you very, very much. Nathaniel Richards, Niners minus 7.5 seems high. Yeah, I tell you, in terms of betting on this game, I'd be in full layoff mode. I can take these off now, by the way. Yeah, I would not. I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't touch that line with a 10-foot. You're gonna have enough digestion issues and possible agita on Thanksgiving as it is, anyways. So I would stay away. I would lay it off. And again, I'm not much of a gambler. Unless I'm in Las Vegas, in which case it's on. I know just enough about sports to become a danger to myself if I started gambling. Because there is nothing that undoes a gambler faster than, I think I know this. So I like to play. I like to play in the right places. From home, I back off. But again, if you want to get in there, mybookie.ag, use promo code Damon. CG Ruthless dripping in Niners gold. He is drip. There was drip. I think I saw drip too. Drip. It's amazing how nice outfit just turned into drip. Talking about Jair Brown, Old Dirty Hungus says Larry's been singing his praises all year long. Hate Huff out, but I think we got a good player. Look, I do too. And I am the biggest Talanoa Hufanga fan out there. I mean, I was driving that guy's bandwagon early on in his career. He is always around the ball. Last year was a better year than this year for Hufanga, but I like Jair Brown. I don't think there is going to be dramatic fall off. How about this? I doubt at any point in time this season becomes undone completely Jair Brown's fault. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think there's a player. UC Steve says, look, Seattle just almost was beaten by the Commanders at home a couple weeks ago. Football's hard, man. Professional football's hard. Anyone can come and get you. Anybody can come and get you. Right when you think there's no way they can drop that game. That's a game you can drop. So, I don't want to talk about the Eagles in terms of 49ers and Eagles. I want to talk about Monday Night Football and that ratings monster. Did you see the number on this? 29 million viewers. It's the largest average audience for a Monday Night Football broadcast since the Packers faced the Cowboys back in 1996. So 1996 might as well be a different planet, a different universe, certainly a different media universe, right? In 1996, there was no iPhone. The internet was still in its, I don't want to call it infancy, but the internet in 1996 is at best a toddler. Like a flip phone was something people would be like, whoa, what's that? A flip phone? This was even before the Razor flip phone came out. Text messaging wasn't even really a thing back in 1996. Like the entire world was different in 1996. But the Week 11 broadcast of Monday Night Football is the largest Monday Night Football audience ever assembled for Monday Night Football on ESPN. And it was a record that was topped this year because week one, when Aaron Rodgers had both of his hamstrings, not just one of them, back in week one, that Jets-Bills week one Monday Night Football game got 22 million, which was the biggest Monday Night Football game in the history of ESPN until Monday at Arrowhead. So if there's one thing that is for sure is we can't get enough football. And a big game in prime time is the largest gathering Americans around any source of entertainment live at the same time that you're going to find anywhere. And to think all of that happened, you got the 29 million without Taylor Swift involved. I mean, my God, if Taylor Swift had been at the game, is that another 5 million people watching? 5 million 13-year-old girls who might have otherwise not been watching just to get a few cutaways of Taylor? It could have happened. That woman moves the needle. Can't deny Taylor her place in moving the needle. Huge Oski Bears. You know, Chardonnay sounds like someone trying to tell you about the different wines that they tried after a long day of wine testing. Yeah, I liked the Chardonnay. I certainly really appreciated the oaky notes of the Merlot. That was very, very nice as well. Mom's drunk. She's had way too many glasses of Chardonnay. 49ers and Seahawks will be available on local TV, but for everyone else, that is going to be on Amazon, right? Amazon also has an exclusive Black Friday game to offer for the first time ever, and I just saw some interesting stuff about this game that I got to share. Joe Pimplano, who covers sports and business with a Huddle Up newsletter that is really worth subscribing to. It's very interesting. He wrote that, Amazon paid $100 million to stop people from going to the stores on Black Friday. They want to bring the store to you right in the middle of a football game. They insist that you sit at home and watch this game. And Amazon is essentially treating their Black Friday game like a little bit of a mini Super Bowl. They're charging advertisers twice what they charge their normal Thursday night football rate, which is normally $440,000 if you want to run a 30-second spot on Amazon's Thursday night football. But for Black Friday, with their exclusive one-game-only Black Friday game, they're charging $880,000 for a 30-second spot. Brands like Bose, State Farm, and DraftKings are debuting entirely new advertising campaigns specifically designed for the game, and Amazon is going to be leveraging a new ad strategy called audience-based creative, enabling brands to target different audiences in the same commercial time slot. In other words, let's say you've just signed up for Amazon to watch football. You're going to get commercial X. Let's say you are an Amazon Prime member that is signed up and shops on Amazon, and instead of getting commercial X, you could get commercial Y that is targeted to what you shop for, what your interests lie on, and during the commercial that you're watching on Amazon, you're going to be able to put that item right in your cart. Like, this is the ultimate, this is the future. I mean, this is where it's all going. The merger of sports and instant buying power, instant e-commerce is where all of this goes. So our first look at shopping in the future is going to be part of this Amazon Prime exclusive Black Friday game that they're offering. By the way, if you don't mind me saying, the whole concept of Black Friday is just gross. Like having people who really need deals battling each other in Walmart parking lots is just, it's just awful that we have taken this weird, morbid kind of weird viewership. It's like Hunger Games for shopping. It's gross that we have turned Black Friday into a spectator sport. Oh, let's watch these two nice ladies club each other with their purses to get the last, Sally doll or whatever the go-to item is that they're shopping for this year. It's just something else. It's gross. It really is. So maybe it's less gross on Amazon, which again has crushed the normal brick and mortar mom and shop shopping places all over America. You can't root for Amazon, but it's ubiquitous and you can't deny it. It's spot either. We'll get to someone else that you can't root for here in just a moment. But we've also coming out of what was yesterday the worst sports night of the year. It's like there was nothing on. There was no football game, no real basketball games to speak of. There was a terrible sports night last night. The Warriors are going to make this evening less of a terrible sports night. The Warriors snapped their 6-game losing streak. They're in Phoenix to take on the Suns. That means Chris Paul is back in Phoenix, making it interesting. Obviously, this is Kevin Durant. This is Devin Booker. Still no Bradley Beal, though. Bradley Beal is not playing. The Warriors are basically healthy, but for Draymond. Draymond is healthy, but he's still on suspension. The rest of the team, I believe, is ready to go. This should be a good game. And look, if the Warriors, they knock down shots, who knows? They win this game. They've been better on the road than they've been at home. So certainly something for us to have our eye on tonight. Looking forward to that. And then I want to wrap up today before we hop into Club Plus with a story that just made me throw up in my mouth a little bit. I don't think I have to tell any of you. There's a sign right behind me that sort of gives away my affinity for Indiana. I spent some great years of my life in Indiana going to IU. I know the state of Indiana. I know the people in Indiana. There's an awful lot about them that is just dripping with Midwestern lovely hospitality. There is an awful lot of Indiana that drips with an element of inbred, racist, just awful rednecks. You get both. You get both in Indiana. What I can tell you conclusively, I mean, beyond the shadow of a doubt, is that when it comes to being racist in Indiana, white people are not subjected to it. And that brings me to Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay, I wish we could just snap our fingers and Jim would have to live a year like the rest of us to get him out of his insulated douchebag billionaire bubble. A story on ESPN.com today says that Colts owner Jim Irsay was talking about his 2014 arrest for operating a vehicle while intoxicated, and it was a result of police prejudice against him. Prejudice against Jim Irsay? What group does he belong to that the Indiana State Troopers are being prejudiced against? And he said that he is being persecuted for being a rich, white billionaire. I mean, come on. Come on. In Indiana, first of all, you know how many billionaires there are in the state of California? There's almost 200 billionaires in the state of California. You want to know how many billionaires there are in the state of Indiana? Three. I don't know who the last one is, but the first one is Jim Irsay. The second one is definitely the descendants of the Eli family, Eli Lilly, the pharmaceutical company. There's a Lilly library on the campus of Indiana. That's old school Indiana billionaire money. And I don't know who the third is, and I really don't care. But I don't see either of the other two white billionaires in Indiana living that, 4 years a slave lifestyle that Jim Irsay, was it 7 years? What was the name of that movie? It was a really good movie. Anyways, Jim Irsay was talking to HBO Real Sports. The longtime Colts owner had to plead guilty in September of 2014 to a misdemeanor count of operating a vehicle while intoxicated. When asked why he pled guilty, Irsay responded, "Just to get it over with." Quote, "I'm prejudiced because I'm a rich white billionaire," Irsay said during the interview, which aired Tuesday night on HBO. "If I'm just the average guy down on the block, they're not pulling me in. Of course not." Dude, you fell asleep behind the wheel of your car in the middle of the street. I'm pretty sure anyone would get in a little bit of trouble doing that. And most of all, imagine what would happen if the dude sleeping slumped over his wheel had been black. Not a billionaire. There is a group of B's that is prejudiced against. It's probably blacks more than billionaires, Jim. And then here is this has to go on Jim Irsay's tombstone. This quote. Irsay was asked how he thought his assertion would be received, that he is being prejudiced against as a white billionaire in the state of Indiana. He says, quote, "I don't care what it sounds like. It's the truth. I could give a darn what people think about how anything sounds or sounds like. The truth is the truth, and I know the truth." So Jim Irsay is actually kind of like a cool dude. Like he likes music. He collects an unbelievable amount of music memorabilia, and he's got like the original manuscript of "On the Road" by Jack Kerouac. There's a lot of things that I kind of like about Jim Irsay, but I think that those days are over because this douchebag so lives in his own bubble. And there you go. It's the truth. I could give a damn what people think about anything. Or what it sounds like. The truth is the truth, and I know the truth. Again, you know the billionaire's truth. You know your truth. You don't look at anything from any other perspective than your beat down upon, prejudiced billionaire life that you have to just slug your way through. It's so tough. This is like John Fisher telling those 3 fans at the owners' meetings like, "Oh, it's been harder on me than it's been on you guys." These fucking billionaires, what a group of assholes. Every single time they open their mouth, they get worse. They seriously do. Eat the rich. Seriously. These freaking jagoffs. Police in the Indianapolis suburb of Carmel, which, by the way, is beautiful. Carmel is a very nice part of Indiana. It's where the money is. They pulled Irsay over in March of 2014 after he was spotted driving slowly, stopping in the roadway, and failing to use a turn signal. Not because they were hunting white billionaires that night. Can you just see like a group of police getting together like, you know, they're about to start their evening shift. So they're clocking in like 5 p.m. and they're having their, everybody stay safe out there meeting at the precinct. And they're like, all right, we got one goal tonight. That's to find Jim fucking Irsay. It's time to get that guy. Because if there's one thing this mostly overwhelmingly white state with a mostly overwhelmingly white police force cannot stand, and that's the wealthy, upwardly mobile white guys. I just in Indiana, white guys are doing just fine in Indiana. There's no other group of whites being persecuted in the state of Indiana. White billionaires only, apparently. The guy failed the field sobriety test. Well, why were you on the pills? Jim Irsay says, because I just had hip surgery, so I'm on all these pills. Well, if you're on all those pills and you're a billionaire, you probably shouldn't be driving yourself, you dickhead. Police discovered various prescription drugs in Irsay's vehicle, along with $29,000 in cash. $29,000, just happened to have it on him. Who doesn't roll? What white guy in Indiana isn't rolling with a briefcase full of prescription pills and $29,000 in cash? It's unbelievable to me. It's like saying that the city of San Francisco goes out of its way to persecute gay people. Like, you couldn't have it more wrong. There is no city in America that is more welcoming to the gay community than San Francisco. There is no state in America that is more right this way, white person, than the state of Indiana. And I'm not saying Indiana is overwhelmingly, awfully prejudiced against black people. What I am saying is that if you are white in the state of Indiana, you have less to worry about than probably at least 45 other states. I've never heard anyone make the argument white guys got it tough in Indiana. I mean, that's just, especially the white billionaire. Oh, I feel bad for Jim Irsay. Seriously, Jim Irsay, I wish for just a minute we could snap our fingers. Just snap our fingers and have Jim Irsay live in the bottom half of a 2-family duplex condo for a year. And then you tell me if you billionaires got it worse than someone who has to go frickin' to Rayleigh's for the 3rd night in a row to get a cheap cheeseburger because your paycheck is at the end of its cycle. Rallies? No, it's Rallies or Checkers. I forget. Anyway, that's rich. That's borderline performance art. It's serious. We need to do like a country song. It's tough being a white billionaire in the state of Indiana for Jim Irsay. Unbelievable. So there you go. Thanks to CG Ruthless for stopping by. Thanks to all of you for watching here on YouTube. We're about to dive deep into the chat for a little Club Plus. But if you are just tuned in on the podcast, I thank you very, very much. And if you don't, for whatever reason, because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, if we don't talk before you have Thanksgiving, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope it's surrounded with friends and family and loved ones and people that you care deeply about. I care deeply about you being a part of this audience. Thank you very much. It's not just an audience anymore. It's a community. It really is, and I'm thankful for it. So, thank you. Good luck to everyone. May your turkey be moist. May your stuffing be perfect. And may your white billionaire day not be interrupted by an overzealously policing white billionaire police department in the state of Indiana. Good luck to all of you. And remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Oh, I shouldn't have turned the lights off before I found the plug. There it is. It's tough being a billionaire, especially Caucasian in Indiana. Come on, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, that's just that's. I think that's going to be one of my favorite stories of the year. Lord Damon, what is the update on Geno Smith? Well, I'm not up in Seattle. I'm not sitting on top of the story, but every indication is that the 49ers, or excuse me, the Seahawks are going to have Geno Smith starting for them. Haven't heard otherwise. Ooh, how about this? A Seducken, not the turducken, a Seducken should be on the menu for the 49ers tomorrow. Hashtag eat. Look, they should. They should. The 49ers should so win this game. I'm a little worried about it. That's just the way my brain operates. I don't think they're letting anyone out to the 50 to snack anymore, but I want the 49ers to win so Brock Purdy can eat a turkey leg on the 50-yard line. I would love it if the 49ers, if they do win that game and they bring the table out to the sideline for them to eat on, if the Niners who are out there should pick up the table, bring it to the 50. Oh my God, there'd be a riot. I wouldn't blame fans for coming out of the stands to prevent the Niners from doing that. All right. What do we got? We got my man, Otis Bird III. ESPN knew what they were doing, having a Super Bowl rematch from Monday Night Football. Yeah, I mean, you look, how about this? Anybody versus Patrick Mahomes is going to be a big audience. The Eagles are going to be a big audience. The 49ers-Seahawks should be a big audience tomorrow. I mean, but when you get that, when you get a good game, a tight game, a good game with real stars on it, you're going to draw an audience. It's like if you're a white billionaire in Indiana, you're going to draw police attention. We got Jamela 13. I loved my Razor, the flip phone. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Razor phones were dope. Razor phones tried to make a comeback in the last couple of years, right? They tried to do like the whole flip phone thing, and even though it's a flip phone, it's still a touch screen. I thought flip phones were cool too. I did. Now you're taking it too far. I loved my pager. Oh, come on. As soon as you met the cell phone, you didn't want that pager anymore, unless you were a drug dealer. In which case, 911, I need that weed quick. It's an emergency. Chef A, I'm making a rosemary simple syrup for a cranberry cocktail for the daughter to use. She is chief bartender. Wow. So I'm not a big cranberry guy. Cranberry never hits my plate during Thanksgiving dinner, but I know people who do like cranberries get very, very protective of their cranberries. Cranberry simple syrup, now you got me. Now we can talk. Little cranberry in my cocktail, we can talk. On my plate, don't want to talk about it. But there you go. Chef A. Might have to invite Chef A over to the house in between the week of the championship games in the Super Bowl so she can teach us how to make some simple, gots-to-have-it Super Bowl appetizers. Do a little film, put it together, and have chef us up a little bit since she's the official chef here of the Damon Bruce Show. Jose Julian says the NFL is 100% entertainment, just like the WWE. No. I mean, look, is it entertainment? Is it sports entertainment? It is. But unlike the WWE, which knows the outcome of everything that happens before it starts, which is why it's not a real sport, football is a real sport. We don't know how it ends before it begins. There's never been a wrestling match where that wasn't the truth, except for what? The Montreal Screwjob? See, I used to watch. I used to pay attention. Irwin, isn't Damon cooking for Thanksgiving? Little frog still creeps up in the throat. I don't know why that happens. Hold on. All right, better. Not really. Hold on. Sheesh. So tomorrow, Jillian's parents are handling Thanksgiving proper. We are going over for an early Thanksgiving dinner because I'm going to be back here at 5 o'clock getting ready to do the show and postgame. Friday, we're going into a Friendsgiving, in which case that is going to be My boy Justin's doing like a Snake River Farms prime rib. He's like, screw turkey. We're going for it. I'm like, that's awesome. We'll be there. I'm doing a bread pudding stuffing. That's what I'm making. And Jillian is on mac and cheese. And it's going to be good mac and cheese. She spent more than our family's weekly food budget on just Gruyere Swiss cheese yesterday. So it's going to be strong. Very strong. Jillian in the chat saying hello, saying happy Thanksgiving, sharing cooking plans. AJ Cruz, pager code was the original text. I mean, with the ultimate pager code was just 911, which always stood for let's go. God damn. Oh my goodness. Rob C-Note sprinkling. That's not sprinkling. That's a full-on money drop. It's like the turkey drop on WKRP in Cincinnati. I didn't know these things could fly. Couldn't fly. Damon, have some turkey on the 50. Sorry I haven't been around. My shop has to move to Redwood City. Been busy. Rob, thank you so very, very much. Rob C. coming in from the top rope with the C note. My man. Very thankful for that. Thank you very much, Rob. That's very, very nice of you. Rob C. note, again, is coming in hot. Rob C-Note, back in action. Everyone just dazzled. Mrs. Plouse is even dropping a thanks on that, no doubt. Rob got that Saudi money. Rob is like my own live tour. Thank you very, very much. And JMel13, thank you very, very much. Again, I'm not, anyone who dips into their own money to drop a little super chat, I appreciate every drop of it, and thank you very, very much. I still feel very odd asking for these things. I don't like working for tips. It's not how the last 18 years of my broadcasting career has gone. But it was explained to me by people who love this channel. Like, Damon, we're not pandering to you. We're not tipping you. We're appreciating you and we're supporting you because independence has made you better at what you do than you've ever been before. And we want you to keep this up. And believe me, so do I. So I thank you very, very much. Thank you, Jamela13. Thank you, Rob C. And thanks to all of you. Thanks to Giant 49er fan who came in with the first in the first super chat of the day. Jim Irsay is out of touch with the world. Rockin' New Era 84. You think? I mean, I think the argument that all billionaires are out of touch with the world is an easy one to make. Like, if you don't know how much a gallon of milk costs, you don't know what the world is. When's the last time Jim Irsay went to a grocery store? Let's be honest. And the thing was, I've always kind of liked Jim Irsay. Like, kind of cool, but you lose me with the whole, it's hard, racist because the police is racist against white billionaires. Look, your dad was an alcoholic. You got substance problems too. Runs in the family. As a billionaire, just get a cab, you dick. Or, excuse me, a cab. A limousine. Again, how do you get pulled over when you are a billionaire? It's because you make bad choices. Tom Riley. I like Damon. I haven't listened to him for a long time, but I'm really more interested in pure sports, not all the politics and buffoonery that goes on behind the scenes. Some of it's okay, but, and then he keeps on going. Well, here's the deal. It's not here to make you comfortable. We're not taking requests. And I'm going to talk about what I care about. And Jim Irsay saying that it's tough being a white guy in Indiana is worth crapping on as hard as humanly possible. Get out of here. I don't even know where the rest of that message went, but Tom, thanks for watching. Stick around. You'll learn something. McRib is back. That's exciting, isn't it? McRib, just in time for Thanksgiving. Old Dirty Hunga says, Damon, I did the podcast twice this week. It's still elite content, but it made me even more thankful for the banded gypsies that we call the Ploose. Yeah, we all, seriously, we got a little island of misfit toys over here. And it's great. Daniel Shabazz, you're a showman, Damon. Thank you. A showman. I host a show, man. What is it? Hutsa Chicken 17? I've not seen you in here before, but I hope you're subscribed with a cool handle like that. Trap game tomorrow? It could be. It could be. It is up to the Niners to not think at all about what's coming and just to handle business in Seattle. Handling business in Seattle is hard to do under a normal week without the Eagles waiting for you. So it's all the things in the atmosphere that make me worry about the game than maybe the actual even matchup of the game. Is that game on Amazon Prime tomorrow? I don't know. The Friday game's on Amazon Prime for sure. I thought Thursday night football's got to be, one of those games has got to be on Amazon, right? No, maybe not. I don't know. I'll figure it out when it comes on TV. I won't miss it. Again, Postman and Capitola's in the house. He's watching Rob C-Note dropping. Thank you, Rob, again. Thank you very much. Ooh, Jillian. She's not just making mac and cheese. She's making sexy mac and cheese. She's making expensive mac and cheese is what she's making. That Gruyere, I mean, seriously, Gruyere is so expensive, you'd think you'd be sniffing it off the back of a bar toilet. Cranberries can stay off my plate too. Hard pass. Big Mac, $86.75. You got to have fresh cranberries. Fresh cranberries. Just not a cranberry guy. Not a tart. We want the Jillian mac and cheese video. It'd probably go viral. Probably go viral. Must be trouble, said bread pudding. Ugh. What are you talking about? What do you think stuffing is? Stuffing is basically bread pudding. That's what it is. You don't like stuffing? To me, that's the reason why we have Thanksgiving. And I'm experienced, Chef A. Let me know if you need any tips for that dressing. I know what I'm doing, Chef A. You'd be very proud of me. I do know what I'm doing. '49er Ernie says, "Hey, I'm going to roll me a fat turkey leg size J just for you guys." Well, happy Thanksgiving and gobble gobble to you, brother. That's awesome. Jillian, there will be Gruyere. Indeed. Indeed. Look, a lot of Gruyere talk here on the channel today. Gruyere, and look at that. Even Postman and Capitola even putting a little front over the E in Gruyere. Great melting cheese for mac and cheese, but I also highly recommend some smoked Gouda. Hell yeah. Probably could have saved an arm and a leg, too, on smoked Gouda. Jillian's right about this. Rob Sino just paid for all that Gruyere. Thank you, Rob. We might have to call him Rob G-Note. Smiley Dan, head of security, keeping everyone safe. Happy Thanksgiving, Blues fam. Be sure to stay through the holidays and the football extravaganza. Indeed. How about Manchego? Rockin' New Air 84. What about Oaxaca cheese? Must be trouble, says Damon. Where'd the super chats go at 95.7 the game? Still can't believe people actually drop super chats over there. I guarantee you that Odyssey keeps that. I guarantee Odyssey is such a broke joke of a company. They probably are keeping $1.99 super chats from anyone who's dumb enough to send a super chat to a radio station. I guarantee it. East Coast Red and Gold podcast. I'd like a Damon Bruce Show shirt. We need them. Look, I've got so much still to learn over here. We haven't quite had a chance to put the merch together. It was a goal that we had. I don't think we're going to reach that goal. Year 2, just be patient with me. They'll come eventually. I'm trying to maybe work out a deal with Jax for the Damon Bruce collection. So I don't have to create my own website and marketplace. We're just going to hop on someone else's maybe. We'll figure it all out. We're going to figure it all out. But thank you very much for wanting to support what we're doing over here. And I've enjoyed coming on your podcast. So maybe we'll do that again sometime soon. What I feel sorry is all those white billionaires in Indiana who are being prejudiced against. I feel so bad for them. All 3 of them. And only one guy has a problem with the police. But, that's 33% of the Indiana billionaire population that's being prejudiced against. For just 45 cents a day, you can help support a billionaire not be prejudiced against in the state of Indiana. In the arms of the angel, Jim Irsay. The Shaw just dropped 4 Ike's Friendsgiving. Kids are coming home for the week. Got to feed them up. There you go, Shaw. Thank you very much for supporting me, supporting the good cause. Love it, love it. In general, rich people face less consequences, which is a primary building block for creating douchebags. It really is. It really is. Bill Maher the other day had an episode of Real Time where he just ripped Harvard at the end of it. And he called that place, he's like, basically, Harvard, it's an asshole factory. It's just cranking out assholes. Smiley Dan with a safety meeting. Indeed, Friday is Amazon, 49ers, NBC is the Sunday night crew. Okay, all right, that's how that goes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, God. Jillian. Damon doesn't like cranberries because they linger. So that band came out when I was in college. The Cranberries were huge. Right when I got to IU. I mean, they were all right. They were definitely overblown. Definitely a little played out too much. It was the 90s. People were making some musical choices that were questionable. Look, that whole zombie, hey, hey, God, I hated that fucking song. Ike, by the way, Ike weighing in. Good to see you, Ike. We got the Shaw ordering Ikes. I'm about to order a little Ikes. If the Niners get through the Seahawks, they do get more rest than the Eagles. Look, whether or not they get through the Seahawks with a win or not, they do get more rest than the Eagles. A few more days to prepare could be exactly what, changes the outcome of that game. Big Mac, 86.75. We're going full on Mexican cuisine for Thanksgiving dinner down in Cabo. Yeah. So at a Friendsgiving very early on in my San Francisco life, I was hanging out with a group of bartenders, good friends of mine still to this day. And we took over on Thanksgiving 15 Romulo, which is one of the best bars in the city. Always has been, always will be. 15 Romulo was a bar that we got to take over. It was just, they flipped us the keys and said, just have fun with the place. And we had someone make mole. Mole. I never thought that you would want mole at Thanksgiving. It was unbelievable. Mole on the turkey, mole on the mashed potatoes. You can put mole on anything, it gets better. You can put mole on a rubber boot, it gets better. Now, full-on Mexican cuisine might not even include turkey. You might be going El Pollo Loco. I don't know what you're doing down there, but that is, dude, I'm all for a full Mexican. Here's the thing. I've reached a point in my life where I'm about diversifying Thanksgiving. I'm the opposite of the Indianapolis Police Department, who, won't diversify their prejudice beyond just white billionaires. That's the only prejudice carried by the Indianapolis Police Department, white billionaires only. I'm now beyond just Thanksgiving turkey. We did prime rib a couple weeks ago, a couple Thanksgivings ago. My buddy's doing it, and I still like turkey. That's the thing. It's not like prime rib only now. No, I'm still a turkey guy. I'm still very pro turkey. Whatever is going to work best around that table, I love it. Is Ike saying that there could be a Plus sandwich? Woo! A Plus sandwich dedicated to all the Plusers? How about this? All OG Plusers get to pick one ingredient? Stacy Leo, Jillian's mac and cheese, going to be one hell of a cheese pull. It really is. It's going to be a sexy cheese pull. We all like a sexy cheese pull. He wants you to know that San Leandro's open. Get in there. I want to thank you for being here today. I'm so thankful to have you as a part of this. I'm more thankful than any white billionaire who's not being arrested today in Indiana that they made it just one more day. Tamales. Yeah, tamales on Thanksgiving. Gianna rocks Christmas Day tamales, and she's going to owe us at least 10, as always. Now I'm hungry. I'm hungry too. Did Rob double dip? Oh my God, Rob just did it again. Another C. Rob double C's? I mean, there's double D's. Those are fun. But double C notes from Rob? Do you have the bulky Thanksgiving recordings? Or did your ex keep them? Yeah, unfortunately, my ex kept them, and one of the best pieces of audio at the station will never have the guts to run again because, they're going to remind people that Damon's not here anymore, and that's going to make their entire audience pissed off. Rob. Seriously, just making it rain. Thank you, Rob. Rob, I'm going to tell you right now, don't go to Indiana the way that they treat billionaires, which you clearly must be. Double C notes. That's really, thank you very, very much. Truly. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to Indiana for hammering those white billionaires once and for all. Someone's finally come down on that group. How about this? I am pro global level of prejudice against white billionaires. Let's take them all out. We're also thankful that you're here and not there. Jude, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. And here you go. The Indiana State Police just issued an APB for Rob C. Sporticus, that is fantastic. You people are you people. What do you mean by you people? I mean you billionaires, you white billionaires. That's what I mean by you people. What do you mean you people? I mean you billionaires. Thanks very, very much for tuning in today. Thank you for being here tomorrow. We're going to have a Thanksgiving Day draft. We're just going to have fun. I don't know how much sports we're going to talk about because we're going to be talking a lot of 49er football. Post-game and Damon, 2-minute warning comes to you tomorrow. There will be a 49ers wake up the following day. I think that is going to maybe substitute for Friday's Damon Brew show. I might be taking that off since the kids are going to be home. Don't want to strand Jillian at home with both kids all Friday morning since we are going to be doing a 49ers wake up. Yours truly and Larry Krueger, the simulcast. But we got a Thanksgiving Day draft tomorrow, and our first day of taking video calls from all of you plusers. So I hope to see a bunch of you in here. And I'll tell you what, Rob, you get the first pick in the draft. Even if you don't come in late, you have purchased the first pick in the draft if you want it. Got to give, got to let those billionaires cut the line they're so prejudiced against. You people. Exactly, right? You people, you 3 people in the state of Indiana, just 3 billionaires, that's it. You people are my kind of people. If you aren't here tomorrow because you are with family, your absence is totally excused, and I wish you and your family the happiest of Thanksgivings. I really do. From my family to yours, thank you for being here, and I hope to see many of you tomorrow. In the meantime, you don't have to go home. But you can't stay here.